Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Libra February 2025 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, Clairvoyant. Well, I've got a great deck for you this month. It's hand-painted by a guy called Luigi Scalapini. Anyway, I think it's US Games deck or something like that. Renaissance something, I think it is, because the artwork does deal mainly with the Renaissance and cultural, historical cultural stuff to do with Western Europe as well, by and large. So it's great, and we'll find some good things popping up from it, no doubt. Now, you know, of course, that I provide clairvoyant readings for people all over the world via FaceTime and Skype. They go for about an hour and a half. I charge for those, and if you might be interested to see what's involved, just check out the description at the end of the video. Now, there's something else though, which I also offer by way of FaceTime and Skype, and it is the spiritual gift of healing. But the thing is, it's offered for free. No catch. Nothing will be sold or recommended. There is no, I can't get any benefit in return for it. And you're probably saying, oh, look, if it's for free, it can't be any good. Well, actually, if I didn't provide it for free, it just wouldn't work, because that's the basis upon which it was provided to me. Now, plenty of people from this channel have made great use of it, and if this is speaking to you, then you're not alone, because I do people every day via FaceTime and Skype on this from this channel, and I set time aside each day to do the healings. And as I say, it is for free. It takes about 3/4 of an hour, 45 minutes, that type of thing, over FaceTime and Skype. Now, if it's talking to you, there may be some emotional problems that you feel that you have, or physical, or just at your wit's end with things. You just don't know what's going on with your life. Where's the way forward? It's pretty well much an open slate. It's one of the ways in which the beloved provides compassion, comfort, relief, and healing to us. Why me? I don't know. There's nothing special about me. Now, there are no ads in this content, and so you get to enjoy the experience direct. So show me the magic. 4 of Wands. These other cards around here. The Hanged Man. Here is the Knight of Coins. Good. The Lovers. So what's around that? 4 of Wands, a Hanged Man, a Knight of Coins, a Lovers. See what that means in just a second, shall we? And finally, there is the 2 of Wands. Most excellent. Well, why don't I bring the camera around so that you and I can have a look at these beautiful paintings together while the energy speaks to us both, and I'll do the reading for you. Right, let's go through this together, shall we? This Hanged Man and the Lovers, major arcana, are opposite each other. Look at that 6. Look at that 12. 6 I've associated with Vishnu consciousness, Krishna consciousness, Christ consciousness, and the 12, of course. Well, I don't need to tell you how important the number 12 is throughout all of our history here. This is very much to do with relationship, I'd say. Now, you know, I'm not religious at all, but if you assume that, if you ask yourself, why is there a creation at all? And you say, well, what was the creation from? You might say that the creation was from pure awareness. And, well, there's a hint to that in, and again, it's not religious, but the old Jewish book, Exodus, Christian Old Testament, chapter 3, verse 14, when Moses was supposed to go and pull the Jews out of Israel, and said, who sent me? Who can I say that you are? And the response came in chapter 3, verse 14, Ehyeh, 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 in the Hebrew, which is, I am what I am. That is, I just am. Well, that sort of says it. And of course, when they were looking at the Christ, then if you went into the New Testament, that was in the Hebrew, and of course in the Greek books, which were the New Testament books in the Christian tradition, the Gospel according to John, and the fundamentalists, they'll pick me up either on that first reference to chapter 3, verse 14 in Exodus, and here I think it was chapter 8, verse 58 in John, when the Jesus figure was having an argument about religion with people in the synagogue, and they said, well, you're a bum, basically. You know Abraham. And Jesus says in 58, before Abraham was born, I am, which went over like a lead balloon. But you ask yourself, if pure awareness has everything, what does it not have if it's completely contained within itself? It doesn't have relationship. And to get relationship, you need more than unity. You need more than one, don't you? I'm not going to say anything more about it than that. But relationship, clear. Actually, I will pin to the comments a spiritual video that I did some time ago on what the various astrological signs mean for the descent of the divinity into matter and the reascent of the soul back into unity. And Gemini is the big point where everything here splits apart so that you can have difference. And so with difference comes the opportunity to then bring difference together and have relationship. But let's look at this Hanged Man now. Now I get the planet of Neptune around here, a lot of water around here, a lot of water down there. I guess Neptune is the Greek god, or is it, well, the Roman god of water itself. And water, of course, has an association with the emotions. And this is almost as if you are now bringing light into dark. There is, I think, the end of a situation or a relationship which could be stuck, and you are letting go of something for gain, giving up something, surrendering, learning to see something in a new way, and coming to the conclusion that it's necessary for you to break through old behavior patterns. In some way, this is all practically a spiritual metamorphosis for you, because I'm just looking at the sort of the imagery that we have on this card here. First of all, there is the person strung upside down, apparently helpless, and one can draw an association with that Christ figure in some respects, I suppose. But here is a traditional sacrificial thing, which is a lamb that was used all throughout the Middle East. Here is a pelican. Now, the myth is that the pelican would peck blood from its own breast in order to feed its young. Here are nails and hammers, which would have had something to do with people being crucified as well. But yet here there are the great fruits that are coming as a result of this whole process, which is one almost of sacrifice. It's a sacrificial sort of a thing. Which is a redemption, where you are a redeemer in a sense. In some respects, I think that the point has come at which you can no longer avoid seeing naked realities, and that there is nothing left but to face up to them and let go. Now, this letting go could be of ways of thinking, ideologies, just inbuilt ways of looking at the world, traditions. You see, where do traditions come from? They are the words of dead men. That's what traditions are. So maybe you'll be saying, I don't want the words of dead men to govern how I happen to live my life. Rather, I want to break through rigid behavior patterns, clear away old rubbish, and surrender to my higher self. Now, when you bow willingly to the cosmic order, then you do become one with the flow. Not my will, but thy will be done. For thy will is also mine. The great reward for a deep surrender to the whole is sometimes a very much of a 180-degree turn, and you get to see the world through new perspectives. I really do think that there is the opportunity for you to redeem yourself in a situation if it's turned sour. And that's a relationship, I think. And I think that you've now got the opportunity to put things right, bringing light into darkness or bringing light onto something. And I also think that because of this very watery scene in here, that the emotions are like water and that they need to flow. So you could have the redemption or repair of a situation that is related to an emotional event or anything that you've messed up, whether intentionally or unintentionally. And in the area of relationship in particular for you, well, relationships are living things that require care and nutrients to grow well. The care is the love and intention that you put into them. And the nutrients, well, they're the things that you actually do. The quality time that you spend together, the way you support each other, the words of encouragement. Your words, they tend the relationship. And I'm very much getting the point because of this sacrificial theme that's here that I see, this theme which is of repair. The easiest way, of course, sometimes to do that is to just say sorry. Because sorry means that you feel the pulse of other people's pain as well as your own. And saying it means that you take a share of that pain, and so it binds you together with them. Do you know, sorry is a lot of things. It's a hole that's been refilled, a debt that's repaid. Sorry is the wake, the wash, like a speedboat's wash of misdeed. It's the crippling ripple of consequence. Now, sorry is sadness sometimes, just as knowing is sadness sometimes, isn't it? Sorry is sometimes self-pity, but don't go there, because self-pity is the suicide of the soul. And actually, you see, sorry really is not about you. It's about the other person's, and it's theirs to take or to leave. Now, sorry means that you can leave yourself open to being hugged and embraced, or to being abused and ridiculed, or even to revenge. Sorry is a question that asks for forgiveness, because the beat of a good heart won't settle until things are set right and true. Sorry doesn't take things back, of course, but it does push things forward. It is a bridge over that gap. And really, sorry is a sacrament. It is an offering. It is a gift. Now, where is that dual nature card? It's here. And what would we say about this? Well, really, it's quite straightforward, isn't it? I mean, there is Cupid up here, about to shoot the arrow down and bring love to the hearts of the people. But look at the edge of this thing here. They're not very far away from that cliff, are they? So they need to watch their step, I would say. I think you need to look at all of the angles before making a decision now. And there is, I think, the need to make a major life decision or a choice on the direction ahead of you. I think there is attraction here. There is love, mutual attraction, a sexual connection. But this sexual connection, it's nothing temporary or casual. I think it's going to press on. In fact, there could even be the union of opposites through love. You may feel also that you are at something of a crossroads and trying to decide which is the right way for you to go, what's going to give you the most joy, but very much also this feeling of falling in love, or falling more deeply in love in a committed relationship. There's also engagements and marriage around here, and somebody here is going to be choosing between two lovers. And I also see the opportunity here for a complete stranger to show up that has the capacity to alter your life irrevocably. And there's a domino effect going on here, which has the capacity to change the course of everything, that butterfly effect that you have probably heard of. Well, that is what life is, isn't it? A chain of reaction of individuals colliding with each other and influencing their lives even without realizing it. And it could well be here that there is a decision which doesn't seem to be big for you. It actually might end up being quite monumental, though it does not seem that way now. And remember also that people are always going to have opinions about your decisions because they are not courageous enough to take action on your opinions. And your beliefs, well, they affect your choices, and your choices shape your actions. Your actions determine your results. And the future you create depends upon the choices you make and the actions that you take today. Now, because this card has shown up in the way that it has, it may well be indicating that there is a wonderful and exciting love relationship about. Current relationships are either going to deepen, or I have to say it, they could end. And there are new methods for personal growth and integration of your own opposing aspects. That's a Gemini aspect there, which there's difference going on. But you'll be able to get on top of that and integrate them, and you'll be able to make use of them. Now, what do you seek in the people that you love, and what comprises a fulfilling relationship for you? Say to yourself this: I enjoy working with people of all ages. I have people skills. I am emotionally sure about what I need or don't need or want in a relationship. I am ready to be with a partner that fulfills my needs. But you are not wasting any time getting on with what you want to do with your life, because we have down in here the Two of Wands. Quite straightforward, that picture, I think. Now, here is Mars, planet of energy, in the first decan of Aries, the 21st of March to the 30th of March. This is very much a warlike energy that's going to be with you now. Dynamic, pioneering spirit. You may well be dominating another person or a situation, and I don't think that you are going to be satisfied with your lot at all. You are focusing your intent. Now, Mars here is in its own sign of Aries, which is really good for you. And in some respects, what this does indicate is a renewal which accompanies a destruction. You have command here, in the sense of having a command of yourself. And this really means that you need your energies to be collected and concentrated to provide the courage necessary to embark on the new paths that you have in mind. These are things in mind. Now, whatever drastic changes may occur along the way, you're not going to be thrown off balance. But an enormous amount of courage, inner courage, is coming up with you now. Do you know that courage is really the most important of all the virtues? Because without courage, you can't practice any of the other virtues consistently. And in many respects, I think for you, the most courageous act is to still think for yourself and think aloud. Believe in yourself. You are a lot braver than you think, more talented than you know, and more capable than you imagine. You've got the opportunity now to live the life of your dreams. So be brave enough to live the life of your dreams according to your vision and purpose, instead of with the expectation and opinion of others. Be the heroine or the hero of your life and not the victim of it. But, of course, you have to set out because a ship is safe in a harbour, but that's not what ships are for, and it's not for you. And courage will allow you to leave the shore until you look back and not be able to see the place that you have left. I suppose the bottom line of the advice coming through here is that you never change your life until you step out of your comfort zone. Then you'll see that change begins at the end of your comfort zone. But nevertheless, I think that you are going to be overcome by boldness, courage, a fierceness with this Mars in Aries, and dare I say it, something of a shamelessness here. You'll be very generous and proud, and you could have a certain amount of revenge, but great resolution here as well. This is suggesting that your will is beginning to rebel against the fences that have been previously built around you. You're using your willpower to get through stagnant situations and removing any long-standing blocks. This is definitely a time to act, and act on instinct, which I think is what this may well be saying here. And do what you believe to be right without overthinking the situation. Pay attention to centering. If you're in contact with your center, you are certain to master the situations. And say to yourself, I find the strength I need now in my center. Yes, and then as if to reinforce that, at the other end of that diagonal here is more Aries. This time it's got Venus in Aries here. Now Venus, of course, is the most occult of the planets. I did say, I was going to post the spiritual meanings. There's another planets video, but that's another time, really. It's all time chaptered, so you can get to what you need. Well, Venus in the second decan of Aries, the 10th and the 19th of April. You might think that that's a problem because here you have Venus coming into Aries. Venus diametrically opposed. Venus is your planet, of course, and it's kind of diametrically opposed to Aries. And so you might think that there's a problem, but the thing with Venus is the most occult of the planets. Venus is very much into living out all of the good things in life, including sex, drinking, money, relationships. And when she's the morning star, she's like the warrior queen. She's more subdued when she's the evening star. But Venus, the symbol of beauty and love, is combining here with Aries, which is the principle of new beginnings. So your heart is pushing forward and seeking the development of the beautiful in new directions. But before the new can arise, the old has got to be completed. And any conflict between opposites has got to be resolved. And resolved in a way which is going to further you on towards your highest goal. Now, that doesn't mean to say that you need to take somebody with you, because it's just the case sometimes that sometimes there are people who are part of our history and not part of our destiny. Now, the other thing I think that Venus is saying in the context here, sitting next to Mars, which is the ruler of Aries, as you know, is to not be afraid of your fears. They're not there to scare you. They are there to let you know that something is worth it. And if you are moving away from someone, if you want to forget something or someone, never hate it. Never hate him or her. Everything and everyone that you hate is engraved upon your heart. And if you want to let go of something, if you want to forget, you cannot hate. But I do think here, in combination of all these cards together, this is saying that you have to allow yourself to be loved by the people who really love you, the people who really matter. Too much of the time you can be blinded by your own pursuing of people to love you, people that don't even matter, while all that time you waste, and the people who do love you have to stand on the sidewalk and watch you begging in the streets. It's time to put an end to that. It's time for you to let yourself be loved. You see, when I speak of Venus here as being either the morning star or the evening star, I think that you are like a star. Something happens to burst you open, but when you burst open and think you are dying, you're actually turning into a supernova. And then when you look at yourself again, you see that you are suddenly even more beautiful than you ever were before. So something beautiful is going to be making its way into your relationships. Now, you might notice this first as the normal way of doing things are called into question and discussed openly. Clarifying, sorting out the old is necessary, of course, for a new beginning. But remember this in saying it to yourself, that completing the old frees me for the new. Then we have the Knight of Coins. Now, just looking at the painting on this, I'll go through it rather quickly because I'm aware of your time. This is a really sturdy horse. It doesn't look like a fleet battle horse. Here there is a turtle on the shell, and it's almost like a sort of a Marco Polo sort of a character looking out at what may have been the wall of an ancient Chinese city that's here. Getting a lot of Aries around here as well, and a lot of Taurus. I think that you are going to be capable, energetic, a fast worker, I think. You'll have great energy in dealing with material things, and you won't be able to be pushed off course. You'll have a great interest in things to do with design, beauty, connecting things together, practical things which to do with how you look, what you put with what, and may also be in relation to do with things of maybe computer software, games is something I'm getting here. Now, this could also refer to somebody else in which this is a person who is a capable manager, quite steadfast and persevering, somebody who's actually very ingenious at getting things to work, cautious, trustworthy, and they find new things to do with stuff that's hanging around. A person like you will be, who can adapt to circumstances and turn them to your advantage with a slow, steady, well thought out plan. However, it may be that such a person can sometimes seem to be as if they are entirely lacking in emotions, and they don't really make any effort to understand any ideas which are new or which conflict with their view of the world. There are also people who are particularly skeptical, even resentful of spirituality, is what I'm getting. But nevertheless, he is saying to you that this is now the time to take action, because if you do, important things are going to happen, and your work life is going to go well, because you're going to start to turn it into something that you enjoy and say, I am finding the work that fulfills me and satisfies me. What a fantastic spread of cards. Made so much better for you being here. Good. Well, I really enjoyed that art, and I hope that you enjoyed well, I'm sure that you would have enjoyed the reading as much as I did providing it to you. Now, unless I see you privately, either for a clairvoyant reading or for a healing, then I'll see you here again next month. Now, until then though, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.